Well, hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Life Coach Access, your daily access for professional certified life coaches brought to you by Life Coach Philippines. Life Coach Philippines is our community of professional life coaches certified by the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneur, a bona fide institute for mental health that's based in Dallas, Texas, USA. And our life coaching access is a service to the community, and we aim to help individuals experience the process of transformation through the platform of life coaching. If you want to know more about our international coaching classes and services, please connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 for assistance. I am Coach Shaun for Inner Game, bringing out the in me. Knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. We always hear that quote. um, you hear that in the Bible as well, and the more you know about yourself, the more you can be confident, the more that you can be assertive in all of the things that you want to do in life, and also be intentional of the kind of experiences you want for yourself and also for your family. Your access with me is every Friday at 10 a.m. in the morning. Thank you very much for joining me. Um, for my segment today, I will continue to talk about rev up your inner game at work. We're gonna talk now about relational connection. It's gonna be a fun day today. I'm gonna talk about how we can really start that connection with our family members and with our friends, not just having that surface conversations. We're gonna deep dive and really understand how a deep conversation would allow you to have a more joyful, meaningful, and fulfilling life. All right. So please tag your comments in the your friends in the comment section below, or your family members, and invite them to join us in our conversation for this morning. You may also want to share your this FB live to your timeline, to your groups, and also to your pages, so that we can reach more people and help more people in the journey, and we can transform more lives in the process. All right. So be intentional. For those people who's joining me, if you have any friends in there, if you have any, maybe you want to tag your boss as well. Maybe your boss is so hardworking and he loves his work, but he's focused too much on the work that he's doing. Is not really having that connection with you or his or her family members. Go ahead and tag them. Let's be intentional here today. Hashtag pack my bag moment. Hashtag pack my bag moments are the moments where you now go into a seminar, maybe you go into an online seminar or a training, then you have this one pending question in your mind and in your heart, and you're trying to figure out what would be the answer to this. And you go through the seminar, you go through the training, you go to the class, putting that question, putting that thought in mind, and wanting to have that answer in it. So be intentional. Take a look at that in this segment that I have for you. And my hope is I would be able to help you answer that. Of course, with the knowledge, with the ideas that I will share to you, and also the wisdom that I would share to you in this talk. So be intentional. Hashtag pack for your bag moment. Put that in your timeline, share it in your page, in your group, so that we can bless more people in the digital space. At times there's just a lot of noise in the digital space. I think it would be great if we just spread more knowledge and wisdom in there. And then also, there's a lot of people following you. There's a lot of people that you're able to influence in your digital space, in your Facebook, maybe Twitter, or any other digital platform. So let's take advantage of that. Let's utilize these tools or this avenue for us to be able to share our ideas and experiences to others. All right. So hashtag pack my bag moment is your aha moment that you're able to have that answer in your mind. All right. So for those of you who's joining me, if this is the first time you're joining me, if this is the first time you're watching, or maybe you're watching me on a shared link, uh, I am Coach Shaun. I'm a professional life coach certified from the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneur. I'm also a mental health coach, and our institute is a bona fide institute for mental health that's based in Texas, USA. That's in Dallas, Texas, USA. If you are someone who is or who is wanting to be a certified life coach, if you've been dreaming of becoming a certified life coach, if you have been wanting to be a life coach, join us. The institute is a wonderful institute where we have already 300 certified life coaches here in the Philippines, and you have international certification. You have coaching, you have training, plus you have the ability as well to create your own tribe. If you want to be in that space where you have, you can create your own tribe, you can help people in your space, in your community that you have the heart for. I mean, join us in the life coaching certification. Join us in the class. Just, ask any questions. Feel free to send your message in there so that we can connect with you, and we can, tell you what life coaching is all about and how it can transform your life and how it could create the life that you want. I'm also doing the coaching profession full time since I left the corporate world back in 2019. I've been blessed there for the last 14 years. I work in the BPO industry, in the contact center industry, mostly for in my career, 14 years at that. And I was a workforce director there when I left. So my plan was to get promoted every 2 to 3 years, and I was fortunate enough. Sometimes it's less than a year, sometimes it's more than a year, 2.5 years. But I'm super super blessed in the career space of helping others and also helping the BPO industry, earn money, because that's the blessing that we can give to the others as well, so that they can help their family members. All right, and I am on a mission. If you are a successful man, I am on a mission to help 1 million successful men to live in fidelity with themselves, with God, with um, their family members, with their spouse, who are longing to move from wandering to wandering. Maybe you're someone who moves left or right. You try to find something that would fulfill whatever you are looking for, but you can't seem to find that, and you want to be in a space where you just have that, clear direction of where you want to go. You want to wonder. You want to start thinking about life. You want to start thinking about how you want to live your life. You want to start thinking how you want to, make your family and your kids successful. That is what I do, so that you may live a more purposeful and meaningful life without guilt. If you are someone who is a successful man, and you want to live that life, and you want to thrive in your life, in your relationship, and in your family, with your children, let me know. Message me. Maybe you know someone, you're watching me right now, you know someone that has that heart as well to serve others in that space. Do join me. I'm looking for 1 million men to help me in that advocacy, to move us forward, to have a better future for our children's children. All right, so if you want to know more about what I do, you can visit me at my page, Life Coach Shaun De Hoya. Just search in Shaun De Hoya. You'll find me in there. Just follow me, and you'll get updates on what I do as a life coach. And as I've said, I help 1 million men really live in fidelity. And if you want to learn more about self leadership, you want to learn more about how to be a great self leader in the workplace, in your life, if you want to be intentional about the experiences that you have, feel free to join my group coaching community. Is a self-leadership coaching community where I help you there, learn self-leadership skills. And lastly, if you want to connect with me or a personal level, just feel free to add me in there. That is my personal timeline. That's my kids, my two kids, and my wife in the middle beside me. That is my family. So if you want to connect with me on a personal level, just feel free to connect. All right. So before we start, let me just say hi to, hello, hi, I'm the Goodsman. Thank you for joining. Jewel Kagakit, marami pong salamat. Happy Friday to all of you. My better half, Coach Tim Dioya, is also there. We also have Coach Rizal and Coach Nords, Coach Mao. Oh, okay, but Team Oragon is here already. Coach, I mean, thank you for sharing. We have a lot of trainings in here. You also can, you know, there's a lot in Life Coach PH if you want to learn more about what are the things that you can learn off in the workplace on a personal level. A lot of coaches are doing talks in Life Coach Access, so you can just search in there, search what topic you would want. Maybe you want to look at stress management, you want to look at goal setting. I think this month especially talk about goal setting. Just search it in that search box inside Life Coach PH. And if you're looking for more trainings, you're looking for more classes, just let us know. Just message us what you want to talk about. Is anything that you want to, have that topic in there? Just let us know. Maybe that's something that we can add in the pipeline as we progress in this year. All right. So let's talk about the 5 years for practical connection at work and at home. At times, most often than not, what usually happens in the workplace is we focus too much on transactional connections. We just work because we need to accomplish a job, we need to complete the things that we need to do so that we can go home. But the question really in there is, do we really shift gears when we are in a space of being in a state of focus? You are at flow. That's the fifth gear that I talk about in the first week of January. And do we shift between the task mode, which is I talk about the second week of January, which talks about being in a space of planning out, making sure that your checklist is planned out. You're able to get your priorities straight. You get to focus on what's important rather than the urgent. At times there's a lot of people, going to you, asking you for this, asking for a report. Yeah, and they always want it now, now, now. You tend to really just derailed with all of the things that you're doing. Or maybe last week, which I talk about the social mode, which you are really having a conversation with people. Or maybe when you talk to people, maybe you talk to your people, maybe you talk to your boss, or maybe you talk to your spouse for that matter. Your mind is wandering somewhere, thinking about the work that you need to do. You're thinking about other people, you're thinking about the commitments that you're having, which you are not able to accomplish. And that is something that we really get to have that frustration with the experience that we have in the workplace because we focus too much on the work rather than focusing on really what matters at work, which is having that connection so that you can have a successful career, you can have a successful relationship, and you can have the business be successful. I mean, it's all about relationship. If you think about it as human beings, we are not human doings, we are human beings, and let's be a being, which is a connection really with people. And today, we're gonna really talk about the connect mode, which is being present with your family members, with your friends, without work. All right. When was the last time that you were present with your other people, with your family and your friends, not thinking about work? Can you remember a time? Or maybe right now, what are you thinking right now? Where is your mind right now? Where is your thoughts right now? Are you in the present? Are you enjoying this moment? Or are you doing something in your laptop, working while listening to me? Where are you at right now? And how is your focus so far by far? All right. So recap from the first week of January, I talk about the fifth gear, which is the flow state. The flow state is when you do the work and you seem to get lost out of time. Time just goes too fast, and eventually you get just enjoy the work that you do. 1 hour becomes 2 hours, 2 hours becomes 4 hours, 4 hours becomes 8 hours, and you just can't seem to stop doing it. You are at that flow state. You're doing what you love and you're loving what you do. So that's the fifth gear in the flow state. So if you missed that, just go back to the first week of January. That's the same day. It's a Friday. Take a look at that, watch that video so that you would understand where the flow state is and how you shift gears towards fifth gear. All right. And 2 weeks ago, I also talked about the fourth gear, which is the transactional connection, where we focus on our attention or our work towards task driven. Every day when you wake up in the morning, the first thing that you need to do is, what are the tasks that I need to do based on the email conversations, based on Viber conversations, based on Messenger conversations, rather than really understanding how to plan out the day and how you can shift towards fourth gear and fifth gear. And are you really present at the moment, or you just focus on making sure that you're able to, tick all of those things that you need to complete? Third gear, which is last week, I talk about the social connection. I talk about being social, being there, being really there, not just physically there. At times you have meetings, you have dinner dates, or you have lunch meetings with people. Then eventually, instead of you really focusing towards having your attention on the people, you tend to wander somewhere, go somewhere. You get to lack the focus that you need to do to enjoy the moment. It's like the coffee conversations that you have, that you're really there and you're really at the present moment. All right. So that is the third gear. Watch that from last week, last Friday, which I talk about how we need to focus on having that social connection rather than just being it transactional. You do it just for the sake of doing it. And today we're going to focus on the second gear, which is the relational connection. Relational connection talks about how connected are we deeply with our family members, how connected are we deeply with our friends, those people that are really close to us, without the topic or having a conversation about work. Like how often do you do that? Or do you have that, you know, scene where you just don't talk about work, talk about the personal aspect? I mean, I'm not saying that work conversation is bad, but I think it's more of a wonderful thing where we're able to really have a deeper understanding of the other person's thoughts, other person's desires, other person's wants and dreams. And maybe it's something that we can support with. Maybe something we can continuously support them in their journey. Maybe they're longing for connection. Maybe they're longing for someone to understand them. And they're just waiting for someone to really be there to have that connection in a meaningful way. Like, when was the last time that you have a connection in a meaningful way, where you're not there just because you're on a mission to do something, or you are um, having this personal goal that you need to do to have a conversation, and you're just really there not because you feel like it. You're there because you really care for that person. You care to have that conversation. And the relational connection, how does this look like in reality? A relational connection or conversation is when you have a conversation, then afterwards, when you finish the engagement, you're just full of energy. You energize. You feel that you are so inspired and motivated that, hey, I'm going to be able to do the things I want to do. I'm going to be able to, you know, put aside my fears and strengthen my faith towards whatever I want to do. And that is what the second year or the relational connection is all about. It's our ability to connect and be in the present moment. It's our ability to connect and be in the present moment. You know, talking to someone who brings you joy, that is a second year. Talking to someone who makes you happy is a second year. You know, this can be people in your workplace, maybe it's your colleague, maybe it's your family member, maybe it's your friends. And these are the things that you want to build the relationship up without any agenda whatsoever, without the pressure of having really, conversing in a way that you feel in the workplace, and without pressure to be really productive. I mean, you're just there because you want to connect. You want to learn more about this person. You want to learn more about how this life is, how the person life is. And of course, you also want to be able to share to that, right? And that is something of what the second year is all about. So how do you shift? Where are you currently in your journey? Are you in fifth gear where you're in focus mode, where you're at flow? Are you in fourth gear where everything is transactional that you need to put in checklist? Are you in the third gear where you're, just having that connection, talking to people? Or are you in a space of second gear where you really want to have that deep connection with others? So how does the second gear look like? You might say, Coach, medyo hindi pa clear sa akin. Ano ba yung second gear? How does it look like if it's happening? Okay, I'll give you three examples here to help you, gain a deeper understanding of what second gear look like. Second gear, you are in second gear when you're spending time with your children. Or if this is for those people who has children already, right, or married maybe, and you're doing things that both of you love to do. This is second gear. This is something that maybe, you have a daughter, you have a son who likes cooking, and you like cooking too. That is second gear. That is second gear in where you're having this connection of cooking, of being able to taste the food, of being able to, slice all of the ingredients, of being able to, play around with the taste, of being able to have that just moment in time where you're just enjoying the connection with your kids. That is a second gear. Or maybe you don't have a kid yet. I mean, you're someone who is single right now. Maybe that's something that you have that connection with your parents, that you're cooking and you're cooking with them too. I remember one time when I was still growing up that we usually have a weekend barbecue at home. And it's just so much joy because my dad taught me how to, cook barbecue. So it's a wonderful experience. And up until now, I still have that. I still have that experience. And I'm also doing that with my kids. So that is really the what second year is all about. It can also be taking your spouse, if you're married, out on a date and spending time just being with each other, just being together. Alam mo yun, yung you're not really required to have a lot of different things in your arsenal for you to have that conversation. You're just like there just because you want to spend time, you want to learn more about your spouse, you want to understand more about your spouse, and you want to know more about how you can support them and how they can support you as well. And the third scenario is engaging with your employees or engaging with your co-workers, checking in, spending more time with them than what you normally do. If you are a business leader, if you're an entrepreneur who have people, having a real deep connection, you know, getting quality time, you know, this is the key to leaders. If you're a leader, listening to really people and then challenging them on how they can become better, how you can support them, how you can journey with them so that they can become better. So taking a look at this, where else can you see opportunities for you to have a deeper connection with others? Like what opportunities right now? Take a look at your space right now. Take a look at the people that you talk to. Take a look at the people who you engage with. You have a conversation. What are the opportunities in there that would allow you to have a deeper connection with them? Or are you someone who has this reservation as well because you feel some past experiences where you got disappointed because the expectation that you set for yourself is not being met? So instead of you having still the connection with other people, having that conversation with other people, you tend to, nope, I'll rather be alone. I'd rather not talk to people because I might say something that they might like, they don't like, or I might do something that would be in a space where they're rejecting me. So what are the opportunities in there in your relationship? And if you think about the relationship that you have, which relationship do you spend purposeful time with? You know, being there with a purpose of having a connection. Sino yun? Who's that person? And who's that one person that as much as possible, you would want to skip that relational connection and that conversation? Who is that? You have it? So what is the opportunity for you to improve that relationship? All right? Sorry. So what's the challenge of shifting to second gear? You might say, Coach, parang ang hirap mag-shift ng second gear. I got used to working in the workspace that my engagement is mostly at work, my engagement is mostly transactional, and it's really a challenge. Oh, well, can you remember a time when you were a kid and your kid is trying to talk to you? Or maybe you have a special someone who's trying to talk to you. Or maybe it's your spouse. Gusto kang kausapin. Wants to talk to you. But instead of you engaging with that person, what happens is you get to be more engaged with the work that you do. You get to be engaged in more of, maybe you're someone who checks the news, checks social media, plays games. And instead of this person having that interest and that urge to talk to you, ayaw ka na lang kausapin because you're so busy doing a lot of different things in your life. And you're not able to have that real connection with the person. And they just, busy eh. Busy si mama, busy si papa, busy si ganito. So I'd rather not just talk to you. And you come into a space where, bakit hindi ako kinakausap ng mga tao to? Why is these people not talking to me? And you begin to wonder, am I not good enough? Am I not doing my part? Only to realize that, hey, we are the ones who really had control over those interactions and conversation. And you cannot seem to move out of that kind of, circle where we are not able to have that deep connection with others. That we're focused too much on other urgent things that we tend to forget the most important thing, which is relationship. So when was the last time you had that experience changing gears? And what was the scenario like? All right. I hope you're still there with me. Oh, you're all quiet. I hope you're still engaged with me. How do you connect? That's a big question, right? Now, okay, coach. Second gear, it's a challenge. How do we connect with it? Well, I'll give you four tips. Very simple tips that you can do. Number one is take time. Take time. If there's an opportunity to connect, be intentional and connect. Grab it. I mean, be intentional. Add more time. If you're talking to the person just for 15 minutes, add 15 minutes more. Stretch it a little bit. That's the first one. Number two is listen. Listen to understand so that you can be understood. Listen to understand so that you can be understood. The more that you listen, the more that you pay attention, the more that people you would understand them and they would understand you. Change your perspective and really connect with the person. Rather than being able to express how you feel, ask them how they feel. Be at the present moment. And remove any judgment whatsoever and have that connection. Number three is don't force it. Don't force your ideas to the other person. At times there are people who force their ideas with you, who force their recommendations with you, who force their advice to you, only to, it's not really my thing. So don't force it. Just make a connection, make that conversation, that interaction so genuine that this person would just want to talk to you. And last but not the least, which is easy but difficult, is to be vulnerable. You know, share about who you are, share about your weaknesses, share about your strengths. It's not boasting. It's just telling the other person, hey, you can be someone who has their confidence in them, who can be confident with themselves and really have that conversation and connection. Because if you're able to do this increases the chance that you would be staying connected with them. You would be a human being. You really have that connection with everyone. So who is that one person you want to connect with after this? Who is that one person who you can create that real connection and that space in order for you to connect well about life? Someone who you are confident with, you are comfortable with sharing, and that person would understand you even though the language is not really clear. May mga times na may kausap kang tao na hindi niya ma-express yung sarili mo pero naiintindihan mo. And that is what connection is all about. That even in the space of silence, you can understand the person. So that is how you connect. Again, you can take the time that you need, make sure that you listen, don't force it, and be vulnerable. Those are the four. So what happens when you are connected? Well, when you are connected in second gear, you're having the deep conversation, is you will have healthy relationships, which gives you the peace in your mind and in your heart. That is the beautiful thing. I'm the person who would rather be alone, not talking to someone, because I feel I might say something that would trigger the person. Baka mapikon yung tao. I'd rather be alone on the side. But I realized that doing that doesn't really allow me that space where I am at peace and my heart is at peace. My heart is enjoying the relationship. Thank you, Jewel, for sharing your comment. That's what is lacking in the workplace nowadays: the ability to connect and communicate. So true. And it's unfortunate that we're not taught when growing up by our parents, by the school system, and even in the workplace of how to communicate. People have this expectation. Lumaki ka naman na nakikipag-usap ka, yeah, but what do you really talk about, right? And if we're able to have that necessary skill for us to have that conversation, and it boils down to really the confidence that we have of ourselves, it just makes the world a better place. Kasi there's no more isolation in space. Di ba pag nag-isolate tayo kung ano-anong iniisip natin. Imagine if you're gonna be in a space where you can just share your ideas and people will not reject you. Imagine if we can create that space in the workplace. That can happen. It can happen. And that's what happens when you stay connected. When you stay connected, there is growth between the two of you. That is number two. Because you grow, you learn from this person, you understand their experiences, you get wisdom, you also get knowledge. And in return, the other person would get one too. So you're growing because you would learn the experiences of the other person, whether right or wrong, and you get to imbibe that and you say, okay, I won't do that anymore because that person already experienced it. So why bother, right? So you grow. Number three, what happens when you are connected? Well, you will have a better conversation and connection. That's it. Better conversation and connection. Hindi lang yung, oy, kumain ka na? Oo na. Ah, hindi pa, mamaya-maya. Okay, sige, kain lang kami. Lan. Rather than, hey, have you eaten already? No, medyo madami pang busy. Ah, tara, ano muna tayo? Relax muna, mga 15 minutes. Let's just grab some coffee and some biscuits or something, and really have that connection. I do that in the workplace. I really talk to my people or even my colleagues. Kain muna tayo. Let's just eat. Stretch muna. Minsan kasi ang daming trabaho sa work. Never ending naman yung work, di ba? Continuously. All right? Number four, when you are connected, there is trust and the other person will like you. There is trust. Why? Because you're authentic. Because you're really there, not in a space of intention to, check on them. I mean, parang pinupulis mo sila, no. But you're really there because you want to have that connection. You want to have that interaction. You want to understand the person because you care for the person. Isip mo, coach, kasi yung ibang ang papangit ng ugali. Well, different people have different experiences in life. Kung masama yung ugali nila, it's because they haven't really experienced what authentic love is all about. And maybe you're someone who's given an opportunity to show that person what a deep connection really is. Na ipakita mo, iparamdam mo kung ano yung totoong pagmamahal. Hindi yung love na girl boy. I'm talking about really love of compassion. Diba? And when you're connected, you are more secure because you're confident. Because you know that the other person understands you. You know that the other person values you. You know that the other person makes you relevant, makes you significant, and you feel that too. You feel that confidence. And lastly, what happens when you are connected at work? Well, you are more compassionate. Bakit? You tend to hear the stories of individuals na pag minsan, di ba, may mga taong super performing when they started, then eventually as they progress, their performance declines. Tapos minsan iisipin mo, ang dami ng judgment ng ibang tao, sinasabi nila na ganito kasi yan, ganyan kasi yan. But have people really take a pause and really try to understand what the person is going through? Maybe the person is undergoing some mental health challenges, right? Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a finances, maybe it's a money issue, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a kids who's not doing well. These are the things that we need to stop and pause and really reflect on what are we doing with our lives. Like, where are we investing our time and attention on? When we're able to master second gear, we allow ourselves to begin to experience a deeper level of respect and trust. Hindi lang sa ibang tao, pero sa sarili. Because confidence begins in you. People might say, hey, you need to go on a lot of these different things, do these things, Um, but if you want to be confident, uh, learn more about yourself, lead yourself. That is the beauty of being in a space where when you know yourself, you can do a lot of different things. And maybe you're someone who's looking for that already. Maybe you're here right now with me because you want to be able to create that life that you want. You want to be able to stop wondering, you know, and go to wondering and really living that life. If you are that, I would like to invite you to the self leadership coaching program. It's a year unlimited 15-minute one-on-one coaching program that allows you to have a clear vision of your future. You know, be more confident, be more assertive to the kind of experiences that you want in your life. Yung gusto mo, hindi yung gusto ng ibang tao, because people push a lot of different things in our lives, and eventually we feel that it's what for us, only to find out at the end that it's not really for us. And imagine if you're able to be assertive in that would do, you would live the life that you deserve. The program is, you know, 4 steps. It starts with self-discovery, knowing the real you, because you know yourself. That's a beginning of wisdom. That's a beginning of making the right decisions. And it goes to self-acceptance, being honest with yourself, that you don't have to hide anymore, because that's you, and that's okay. It's okay to be um, imperfect. It's okay not to have that imperfection. Okay lang. And eventually, once you accept yourself, you're being honest. I mean, you're being honest with yourself. You go into self management, which is holding yourself accountable, because you are accountable to your life. And once you're able to make that decision to change your life, then self growth happens. You become better, a better version of yourself, a better version where you live more joyful, you live more purposeful, you live more meaningful, and you live a fulfilling life. How is that? How does that feel like if you're able to live that life? How does that smells like, taste like, or feel like? When you're ready, do message me 0917-569-4200. I offer a complimentary 30-minute coaching session. You know, let's just have a discovery session. Let's see where you're at right now and how I can support you. And let's move forward with that life that you want, where you know you are confident and you can be assertive of what you want. Kasi ikaw yun. Kasi gusto mo. All right? So warning signs of a healthy second gear, and these are, I'll give you 3 warning signs for you to take a look at, reflect on where are you at right now. Okay, so if you are so focused, or you're focused too much on the key relationship in your life rather than your friends or family members. Key relationship, maybe it's your boss, maybe it's your clients, maybe it's other people, maybe it's someone else, iba, rather than focusing on your friends and family members. That is a warning sign. That's already an unhealthy second gear, where you're focusing too much on other people rather than your relationships. Yung family member mo, yung sposo mo, yung mga anak mo, yung tatay mo, yung nanay mo, yung kapatid mo. Yes, Coach EB, confidence begins in you. Yeah. Coach Maureen, creating meaningful and deeper connection in the workplace really helps. I agree. Coach Mao, by the way, is an HR practitioner, and she really helps in the workplace. If you want to learn more about programs in the workplace that you can use on an HR perspective, yeah, Coach Maureen would help. All right. Number 2, if you're talking too much and too long from your normal work patterns, oh yeah, workplace pa rin. You just talk about work. Maybe you work 12 hours now, and even pagdating mo sa bahay, trabaho pa rin pinag-uusapan mo. That is an unhealthy second gear. Maybe the conversation that you have with your spouse is still work. That's unhealthy. Number 3, if you are constantly struggling to have the right conversations. Minsan di mo alam paano ko ba kakausapin to? I mean, you're mostly used to having conversations about work related, and eventually you would need to shift. Paano ko nakakausapin to on a personal level? Di bang hirap? That's a challenge. What would I talk about? I got used to talking about work all the time. So these are a good example of unhealthy second gear. So when have you experienced this kind of scenarios? And what are you doing about it? What can you do about it differently? All right. So how can you get healthy? Ayan. Three things. I'll share three things. Can you get healthy? Well, number one, be interested rather than trying to be interesting. Yeah. Be interested with others. Simple. So simple. Easy, difficult. You know, be in a space where you really care for the person. You want to learn more about the person. Because when you're able to do that, that person would just really just flow as well, sharing things to you. So be interested rather than trying to be interesting. Number two, be mindful and not pressure on the people to go deep when they are not ready. At times we force too much these questions of asking deep conversations when the person is not ready yet. Hey, chill lang. Mag third gear muna kayo. Huwag mo na mag second gear. Don't shift. I mean, be mindful of shifting between third gear and second gear, being social then relational. Dapat nag-shift kayo. Hindi yung relational lang lagi. Gusto lang powerful questions. Tapos yung client, yung tao na wala na. Nag-trouble na kung saan-saan. When what's the last time you had that experience? Na you were asked question left and right. Then eventually, wala ka na, bye-bye. Ayan. So be mindful. Not to pressure. Number three, know when it is the right time to have a non-work related conversation. Learn how to shift. Learn how to shift from talking on a personal level and learn how to shift when to talk about on a work level. Kasi iba po yun. Di ba minsan nakakasawa yung lagi na lang yung kausap mo, trabaho na lang? Wala na ba ka bang ibang topic na gustong pag-usapan? It's just all about work. And you begin to understand, ano ba to? Nagyayabang ba to? Dami bang problema? Or itong tao tong naghahanap lang ng tao that would really understand him. So learn how to shift. Learn how to shift between third gear and second gear every time you have this conversation with people. All right? Sabi ni Coach Maureen, no more isolation in the space. Tama. Bawal mag-isolate. No? Coach Phoebe said the ability to clearly convey your message when you get connected is very important to communicate well. Yeah, true. Convey your message. Be interested rather than interesting. O, di ba? Simple lang. Coach Nords, yan, thank you all. Natawa si Coach Phoebe. Yes, nag-travel na kung saan ang pumunta. Coach Nords said, be mindful and not pressure on the people to go deep when you are not ready. Yes. Yeah. Let's not force. If that person just only wants to be with you and talk to you, or maybe not talk at all, gusto niya lang nakasama ka, then so be it. Hindi naman kailangan nag-uusap, di ba? Minsan yung silence is already a conversation. Yung body language lang yung nakikipag-usap. That's a beautiful thing. All right? So let me leave to you this reflection question before I end. How might my desire to go deeper actually push people away? Like your desire to really have that connection with people. At times you get too excited having this connection with people and eventually, instead of the people really going nearer to you, wala sila. Ayoko ka na lang kausap. So what is really the desire that you want? Is that your desire would really have this person be in a space of safety that they can express themselves? Or maybe being in a space that you would rather not talk to you? Kasi puros lang naman kung ano nung pinag-uusapan niyo. Diba? Reflect on that. Where are you at? The process is, the power is in you. The relationship that you built is in you. And all of the things that you do in life, when you are intentional about it, because you care, you are in a space of compassion, understand if this person that you're talking to, you're pushing away or you're pushing towards to. Right? So, go into that reflection. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I would be happy to support you in your journey. Next week, we're going to talk about the first gear, which is the self-care. It has been so far a wonderful journey. I hope you're able to learn from this. If you want to learn more about the flow state and the other gears, please just go through the videos. Watch that. Mas maganda pag napanood mo tong buo. And you would be able to learn when and where to shift gears. para clear sa'yo. Para hindi ka lang nakafocus dun sa transactional connection. Especially if you're in the workplace. Puros lang transactional, di ba? Nakakapagod. So next week is self-care. It's gonna be a wonderful journey. I know we can't give what you don't have. We'll move towards that. And thank you for everyone for joining me. Maraming salamat. Thank you for watching me for the last, joining me for the last couple of weeks. I appreciate your time. If you had any questions or if you need support in your workplace, if you need corporate trainings, you need corporate coaching, seminars, and speaking engagement, just let us know. Let me know. You can message Life Coach PH if you wanna. If you're interested, you want to inquire and do a workshop in the workplace. We have a money coaching workshop for people who, you know, take a look at money on a different perspective. There's a lot of people being stressed and pressured too much during this season that their mental health is being affected. So if you want to implement that in your workplace, want to have that program in the workplace, let us know. You can email me, shaundehoya@gmail.com, or you can message me at 0917-569-4200. Yeah. Coach Phoebe said, the power is in you. So take that power back because you have the power. You just need to utilize it. If you need help, let us know. There's a lot of coaches there who's interacting. Just message one or you can message me. I would be happy to support you in your journey. So as we end today's episode, let me invite you to visit our coaching hub. It's at Decaf Coffee Republic. It's located at Pioneer Center compound along Pioneer Road, Brixton, and United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City, just across Bayanihan Center, if you're familiar with Pioneer Center. We're open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, but our virtual operations is 24 by 7. So if you need coaching services on demand, just message Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661 to get the assistance you need. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'll hope to see you again next week, same time. It's a Friday at 10 a.m. Labang boom, everyone. Labang boom. Marami pong salamat. See you again next week. Have a wonderful lunch time with your family members. Bye-bye.